Okay, just record this. All right. Just to be quick here, the purpose of this call is to know your experience in podcasting since you have been doing it for a while now, right? And and as you know, I'm planning to write a book about podcasts, specifically for people who wants to create, grow, and monetize. So I thought
Oh,
I
cool.
want to Yeah, so I thought I want to ask a few podcaster about their experience. So that's why I choose you as one of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe we can start. So what do you like about podcasts?
I think it was a surprise to me, actually. I wasn't sure that I was going to enjoy it because it's not something that was ever on my radar as an activity to do. I didn't listen to podcasts. I never even thought about
Uh-huh.
it. But I really enjoy getting to meet so many different people and hearing so many different experiences of everyday people, and you get to feel like you're part of their life for a few minutes, I guess, and that's kind of cool.
Wow. Okay, so is that why you choose podcast as your main platform?
I think probably that's part of it, but I think the reason I chose podcasting as my main platform is because I don't like being out in front of people like on video. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't doing a very good job blogging, keeping it up regularly. So I figured that the podcast is great. I get my voice out there, I get to talk to other people. And
Mm-hmm.
it's something, once I'm finished the podcast, it's basically done, it's ready to go. So I don't have
Wow.
to spend a lot of time on it.
Awesome. So um what's the challenge that you face when doing a podcast?
Um, I guess the biggest challenge right now is trying to schedule everybody. I've got so many people lined up that want to be on the show that it's hard to
Whoa.
put everybody in line, which is kind of cool. The good problem to have. My big my biggest problem though is probably um, making sure that the people coming on the show are getting something out of it too. That I'm not just pulling value from them. That they've got a reason or a goal in mind, and that I'm helping them do something as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of
Oh,
hard to always come up with something that's a benefit to your guest, because they're coming on the show. I mean, they're getting some publicity, which is good for them, but there should be something that they're getting out of it in terms of why they've picked my show. So
mm-hmm.
I try to do that, and that's hard sometimes.
Uh-huh. I get that. Uh-huh. So yeah, you have been interviewing a guest for a while now. I see that you have episode where you have 30 something, and then you have solo episode which about 10 minutes, right?
Yep.
And mhm. So what's the challenge that you face when interviewing a guest?
um, the biggest challenge, I think, is probably trying to keep them on track so that the episode doesn't go too long. I'm trying to keep my interviews in the 20 to 30-minute range so that they're not too long for people who are listening. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the guests are really passionate about what they're doing, and they get off on a tangent and they go on and on and on, and it's hard to rein them back in without kind of clipping their wings. And I don't want to do that, because I want them to you know explain what they're doing and what's going on. But
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to keep them down a little bit.
Do you interrupt them or just let it go? Let them talk.
um I don't interrupt them when they stop and take a breath, or when they're finished with a thought. Quite often I'll say, that's really fabulous, or that's really interesting, and I'd love to have you come back, but we're kind of
Mm-hmm.
out of time now. And usually it's okay.
Uh-huh. Or do you cut your episode into specific length?
I've done that in the past, and I did that at the start. Generally, I don't. I tell them at the beginning that the episodes are usually 20-25 minutes long, but if we go
Mhm.
longer, then we'll make it 2 episodes. So far, it hasn't
Oh.
been a problem.
And have you been a guest on someone's podcast?
Um, I have not.
Okay. And do you wish to be a guest?
I think it would be interesting. Yeah, I think it would be nice to be on the other side of the microphone.
So, mm, right. So, how do you grow your podcast?
I spread the word on Facebook. I write about it a little bit in my blog.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I encourage my listeners to tell their friends and get other people involved in it. I tell my friends to share it, to download it, to do things. Mostly, I talk about it a little bit on Facebook. And what I've been doing lately, actually, is I've been listening to other people's podcasts, and I've been sort of reviewing things on Facebook, putting up comments about what I found that's interesting. And I'm hoping that by doing that and providing some value, that more people will get involved in podcasts and maybe find
Mm-hmm.
mine too.
Mm-hmm. So you use your Facebook to as a promotion
Yep.
platform. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Uh, or do you promote in any other platform?
No, I
Like
don't.
maybe, oh, okay. Or do you say it in a word of mouth?
Um, Word of mouth. Yeah, I do it by word of mouth in terms of telling people that I'm talking to, people that I work with, that sort of thing. It's
Uh-huh.
funny. There's always somebody I'll mention. Oh, I talked about that on a podcast, and they go, "You do a podcast?"
All right. So, do you monetize your podcast?
Um, Actually, it's an interesting story, kind of. I don't monetize the podcast yet. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on a way to do that, but I
Mm-hmm.
have actually gotten some work, some income from being a podcaster, but it's
Ooh.
not related to my podcast.
Ah, that's interesting. I mean, okay. So, do you plan to monetize it?
Um, I hope to. Yes, I've got a couple of program ideas in my mind for things that I can use to monetize it. Yeah.
Oh, you mean you want to sell your program or other people's program?
I've got my program that I'd like to sell.
Ooh, that's nice. And so, what is something that you would wish to learn when you just starting out? I mean, when you starting out, right? What is something that you feel like there is something that you wish to learn? You get what I'm saying?
When I was first starting out, what did I want to learn? Or
uh,
now?
or back then?
Back then. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing was for me, because I hadn't even listened to podcasts before. I was kind of wondering how you would become popular, how you would show up, even have people find you to listen to your show, because that's something that I wasn't really aware of. So it's kind of what I was trying to learn, or what I really wanted to learn, was how to become popular, I guess, and how to get
Mm-hmm.
your show out there so people can find it. And
Mm-hmm.
that was something that
Well.
was it was interesting to learn that, to see how you go about doing that and how you get into the charts and grow
Well.
your audience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you are being popular now. People are starting to know you. And I see, when you go to the podcasting 101 group, I saw that everyone knows about you. So, so yeah.
That's just because I talk a lot on Facebook.
All right. So, what do you want to learn more about podcasts in terms of creating, growing, or monetizing?
um, I'd like to learn more, or get better at the monetization part, for sure. I mean, that's everybody who's an entrepreneur wants to do that. They want to make money somehow. Um, I'd like to
Yeah.
I'd like to learn how to draw in the right kind of guests more easily, because I've got lots of guests
Mm-hmm.
coming in,
Mm-hmm.
but they're coming in because they want
What?
to advertise their business. And
Mm-hmm. I see that.
it's not really somebody
So you want to attract the
a
right
client for me.
clients, right? The right
Exactly.
guests. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, how do you reach out to your guests? Is it by email
Um,
or just DM?
Usually it's via email. I actually there's been a few publicity companies that have been sending me emails saying, "Hey, I've got a client that'll be a really good fit for your show. Here's all about him or her, and would you like to talk to them?" And that's one of the ways that I do it. But usually it's via email directly with the
Ooh,
individual.
wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you get a referral from other companies, huh?
That I've been getting a lot of those, and actually
Mm-hmm.
I started excuse me, I
Wow.
started with a website called podcastguests.com, and they've got a whole gallery
Ooh,
of people who want to be guests. So I went through that, and
wow.
I started chatting with them, and then they featured my show on their newsletter, and I got a whole bunch of like 70 people responded saying they'd like to be on the show. So I started going through them and talking to them.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's interesting. I never know about that. Is it
Yeah, and
live?
that's a
Is it still live? That
yep,
website?
yep,
Yep. Oh, wow.
yep. And they send out a
Right.
newsletter every week with people like with um, guests who want to be on shows, and they also advertise 8 or 10 different podcasts each week who are looking for guests. So you can get on that and
Mm-hmm.
and get guests that way.
Oh, I see. So you are kind of like a face to the company, or are you just
No,
doing it for your own? Oh no.
no,
Okay.
I'm just another another client. I'm just another person using that method of finding guests.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So let me see. Actually, I have a list of questions, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
So yeah, awesome, Jackie, and thank you for sharing everything about your experience. What else do you like to share?
Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't think I have too much else. I'd love for people to
Okay.
listen to my show.
All right, that's something that I want to. I mean, okay. Do you find it hard to respond to your guests when they explain their points, and you kind of want to talk about your story? You, you say what
Um,
you see what I mean?
yeah, no, I try not to plan my interviews too much with the guests so that I can listen to what they're talking about and respond to them authentically. I guess it's listen to what they
Mhm.
say, and I almost always have a reaction to it because of my own beliefs or my own thoughts on an idea. So I just um, I kind of forego my own story and listen to them while they're on. And that's why I did the solo
Mhm.
episodes. The solo ones are my story and what I'm doing, and I kind of intersperse it that way so that I can let the guests talk about whatever they want.
Mhm. Mhm. All right. I mean, like, do you like to tell your stories after they explain their points?
Um, I find that um, I don't enjoy being in the spotlight, which is kind of a strange thing for somebody who's going to be doing a podcast. But I uh,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't talk too much.
You.
At least I don't think I talk too much about my story when I'm interviewing somebody else, because the interview is
I
about them,
see.
not about me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So yeah, that's all I think.
Okay.
That's it. Awesome, Jackie. Thank you for contributing in this. So once I done with this book, I will give it to you for free as a way
Awesome.
of saying thank you.
That's really
Yeah,
nice.
as a way of yeah, because you contribute in this. So
Well,
anyway,
good luck. I hope you enjoy, have a lot of people and a lot of input for your book. I think it'll be a great story.
yeah. So look up for your name. I think maybe I
Yeah.
put your name. I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay,
Anything
good.
else? Yeah.
Now, how are things going with you?
Uh, yeah, I'm doing awesome. I mean, a lot of guests that I have interviewed that I really want, like Dana Derrick or Steve Larson.
Yeah.
People are like that. Yeah.
Have you managed
So,
to get any monetization yet?
no, I don't monetize it yet. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't promote anything yet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like building a brand, building a following right now this year. So
Oh, that's good.
I have a long way to go.
We all do. Great.
So, so
Well,
which one do
thanks.
you enjoy? Okay.
Oh, which one do I enjoy? Of what?
I mean, is it solo show or interview show?
Um, I enjoy the interviews more. That's why my solo shows are shorter because I don't have a lot to talk about usually, and I find it really hard to talk when there's
Hmm.
nobody else there.
Okay, I feel that.
Yeah,
So,
but hopefully it'll get better.
okay. Uh-huh. Right. So, anything you want to ask about me, or do you have something to do that I think we can end?
I got to get going actually.
Okay. All right. So, I'll update you again by email.
Sure.
So, what's the email that I can
It's
update
it's
to you
my
about the
name. It's
book?
JackieDoucette@gmail.com.
All right. I'll add to my list. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thanks.
again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. All right. Cheers.